see.
Good pruning.
Good.
Chainsaw.
So angle myself this way. Okay. Well, we'll get started.
This to her too. I'll just make sure it's real.
Okay. Well, welcome in. My name's Mackenzie, Ken's daughter. So taking over the garden center. It's kind of I have a class, but if you guys got questions, I will go over watering more. But let me know because it's kind of geared towards you guys when you're here. So I'll have a basic outline. We're going to talk about how to redo kind of your pots, how to take care of your pots. Pots are actually really hard here in Arizona, surprisingly, and people overwater them a ton. So I kind of go into that as we switch pots for the winter season. I'll go over just some colorful shrubs this time of year, and then kind of fertilizing, watering, all that stuff. So that's the basics. The one that you do want to mention, since it's been brought up this week, I don't know if you all have been seeing the bees around in your trees or in your shrubs. If you do, don't worry about it. They're just going for the sap that your trees are secreting, that your bushes are having, because it's so warm, things are still alive. They haven't gone dormant yet. They're still like, I'm awake. So if you notice that, the bees are just going for that. They're going to leave when it gets cold.
I did notice aphids in some of my pine trees now. So
yeah.
We're starting to see a few bugs.
Yeah, aphids on the Austrian pines, they like to come out this time of year. Oh, really? Gross. Let's see. I'll have to get that product. So yeah, I mean, bugs are still very much alive right now because we're still warm. I know we're cold at night, but not cold enough to take anything out. So if the days are still super warm, keeps them alive and insulated. So keep an eye out for bugs. I noticed fungal has also been showing up. A lot of people overwatered in the summer. I don't know how that can happen, but they did because it was so hot. But then things are stressed and they're showing the fungal now. That's powdery mildew, black spot. In your evergreens, it's going to be like purple needles or secreting a lot of sap, but that's an indication. Turning yellow. So just keep an eye on that stuff. Yellowing can be just a fall color change, or it could be your plant's just stressed. So just look out in your yard, keep an eye out. I've had a lot this week of people just noticing stuff. I think because they're just out in their yard and seeing weird things happening. So just look out for that stuff. Let's talk about watering, fertilizing first, since that's kind of what we're here for. Let me grab this. Can you see that online? Well, you're there, cameraman. Okay. So fertilizing should be kind of done right now, if not in the next few weeks. Usually it's like October, we say get it down. But I've noticed that because of the harsh kind of year we've had, I mean, we didn't really get a monsoon. We did, but we didn't. All it did was rehydrate the soil. It didn't hydrate anything else. And then like last winter, as he said, it was just super dry and warm. So fertilizing your native stuff, this does anything and everything, but it's great for your natives, your cactus, your things that don't really want that heavy fertilizer. This is great. And you will notice a difference in the look of your pinyon pines, of your native shrubs, your manzanita, if you just give them a little bit of help. You don't need to do that stuff all the time, 4 times a year or anything. If you can just do it before they go to sleep or go dormant, and when they wake up in the spring, hey, welcome to see you. When they wake up in the spring, kind of February, March, it will just do wonders for your stuff. Okay, so now if you haven't done it at all, do it now. It just helps them pass the stress. This is a granular. It's very low grade, 744. So you can measure it if you want. There's measurements on here. I just chuck it out and get it down. And then you water it in or let environment water it in for you. And even if you don't get water, it will still, the dew in the morning. We get a rainy day here and there. It will get it broken down. Yep, any trees. Yep, anything and everything. Yep, yeah, it's all natural. So it's got bone meal and blood meal, so you can't call it organic, but it is all natural. So anything, you can go on your vegetables, your fruit trees, anything you want.
How long will a bag last? I went a couple times and I found a bag that I had in the shed, and it's probably been there at least a year.
Yeah, that's fine. So she asked how long this lasts. I mean, if you put it in your garage, I mean, it can last a few years. I mean, it might lose some of its potency, but as long as it doesn't get wet, you can just chuck it down. It's going to be great stuff for it. I would put it, when you put it down around the tree line. So not up against the tree, but where the tree line limbs end. That's where your feeder roots are. That's where you want to chuck the stuff because that's when it can pick it up. Okay. There's other product I have. It makes this work better. So this is humic soil activator. It's not a fertilizer, but it brings your soil back to life. The mycorrhizal colonies, it kind of brings back. It helps out your root structure. It just kind of makes this work better by picking it up. This is super great for lawns. I mean, for lawns, I'm like, first thing, throw this down. Okay, then you can throw this down, but this is the best. So I just do it once a year. I kind of do it now or in the spring. It just helps your dirt because our dirt's not alive. You scrape it all off, then you got to deal with the clay. This will help with the clay, with your roots going through it and all that stuff. So this is kind of an additive once a year. This you do technically 3 to 4 times a year, but fall and spring are most important feedings. So we say Halloween, New Year's, Easter, and then like 4th of July kind of thing. If you want to go by how we do it. So that's fertilizing. Do it now if you haven't done it. Doesn't matter for past the Halloween, just throw it down. Okay. Fertilizer. Do I need anything else? Just mention this too. So if you are putting anything new in, I know a lot of people like this is a great time of year to plant because we're still warm, but we're not crazy hot where it's drying everything out. And you have to water every day. But anything new, because we're you want to get it rooted before the December, January hits, root and grow will be your best friend. I mentioned using this anytime you plant, but it's really good now because it just helps it get into its new home faster. That way you get a little more root growth before that freeze comes, and then it freaks it out and it stops growing. Okay. So I do this first, anything new, and then after a couple months or so, I move into the granular and start using the granular on anything else. It's tea. It's fermented tea. It's a fermented tea, basically. It's really thick goop. It's a 2-2-1 compost tea. Yeah, so it's a 2-2-1. You can't overuse it. A little goes a long way. I usually do 2 to 3 tablespoons per gallon. So you just need to use a little bit of it. And you can use it every time you water, once a week. Depends on what you're using it on. But you use this a lot till you see new growth on your plant or you see that transplant stalks start to go away. The yellowing stops. It's our version of that works a little better for the area because we made it for this area. Yep, that would be this thing. It transplants, moving stuff around. This will just help it get used to its home. Okay, so root and grow. I think it's important every time in the year, so I have extra. Oh, I put some in there too. Okay. So you're getting a lot of links. So we have a couple handouts. Did you change the handouts that I chose or? Okay, so the handouts I chose, watering guide's important because we're moving into this next season. I just have, if you guys have Christmas like cactus or poinsettias or amaryllis, I am doing the how to take care or get your plants to rebloom for the Christmas season. And then I just have his blog post that he did on the class today, that fall festive and fun. He has a blog post, sending that out to you guys because it kind of recaps what I'm talking about and all of that. So there you go. If you want to sign up, I will send out emails of it. So I don't have handouts. It'll just be through email. So please write clearly because I can't always read the cursive. Okay, I'm a millennial. I barely know cursive. I can still do it though. All right, room grow fertilizer. Okay, I will talk in this other stuff a little bit later, but I'll kind of go into your watering. So it's a little weird right now. You are definitely cutting back your watering right now because we're still really warm, so you don't want to shut it off. What you can do is you could turn it on more midday, kind of when it warms up, if you're worried about your lines freezing, which they shouldn't be freezing yet. And if you have an underground system, you can go even longer. I mean, we don't turn off our water irrigation all year. We just don't turn it off. We just stop it from running when it's freezing so it doesn't clog. We just run it during the day. So if you do turn it off, most of the time it's now, I turn it off maybe end of November because we're still very warm. And what you want to do is you want to water stuff twice a month, okay? Established stuff, things that have been in a year. You want to water everything twice a month. Deep watering. You don't want to do this little 10-minute watering and then call it good. because we're going so long between waterings and usually we're dry, deep water, that's running for an hour, hour and a half, maybe a couple hours on your trees, your big pinions, stuff like that. Okay. If we happen to get a good snow, fingers crossed, and it sits around for 2 or 3 days, you don't have to water at that time. You can kind of let it go. Okay. But usually we don't even see that till January, February, where we'll get a good heavy snow that sticks around. The first couple snows, again, are just hydrating our soil. It doesn't actually feed your plant. It just hydrates the soil, and then that's all. So you have to give it extra watering. All right, your new stuff, if you put anything new in the last 4 or 5 months, you might water one extra time, like a third time on those. Just because they're a little newer, they don't have as deep root structure, give a little extra. If you notice a freeze coming, like a harsh snowstorm or a heavy freeze that's sticking around, water your plants before that storm hits. Your plants, what they do is they actually take that water up into their stems, and they'll actually kind of use it as an antifreeze. So if you're like, I don't want to water it because the snowstorm's coming, and you'll water it, it's going to freak out your plant more because it's dry, it's stressed. It's like, what do I do with myself? So water it before it hits, and you'll be much better off. That's pots, that's your ground stuff. Water it before that storm hits or the heavy freeze. And your plants will just take that and go, hey, I'm good. The cold doesn't bother me. I'm fine. Stuff like that. Okay. For this month that we're in, this is just the only time you're watering. You're probably watering once or twice a week, probably till the end of November, and then switch to that twice a month. Okay. And again, this will all be in the watering guide or those little business cards you sent. It's saying the same exact thing. Okay. It's just a weird month. Transition months are hard because it's warm, but we don't water every day. Okay. Now, I mean, you're probably watering, it just depends on what you got. My guess would be 45 minutes to an hour. Pots, probably more like 10 to 20 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, it's different. I know probably all have 1 zone or 2 max. Play it by ear a little bit, but as long as you get it something deeper, you're fine. Yeah, as I said, our ground's still staying super wet. So if you're ever worried about it, go a few extra days. It's okay on that stuff. I have not seen anyone underwatering this season. They've all been overwatering. So go backwards a little bit. Any more questions? Any questions on watering? Anything like that? Okay, good, perfect. You guys got this. I do know if you have irrigation boxes or things out in the yard, like we have ours buried, we do throw a couple bags of mulch or manure on top of it just to kind of keep the freeze out, just kind of insulate it a little bit more. So just a little trick if you want to keep it running year round. Okay.
Say that again. I didn't catch all of it.
Yeah, so if you have an irrigation, system in the ground, you have that box, we throw mulch or manure on top of it just to insulate it. Yeah. Just to help a little bit. We don't freeze more than like a foot here usually. We're not going to do a deep freeze. So things are still kind of moving in the ground. You just got to protect things a little bit. Yeah. And that's why there's been some debate, question people ask me, can I plant right now? Can I plant through the winter season? When do I plant? Okay. You can plant year round here. It just depends how much you want to work for it. Because in the winter months, you can't hard to dig in the ground a foot. Once you dig past that, it's usually pretty easy. Right now, still super easy to dig a hole. Easy. You can still dig in the ground without fighting it super hard and plant. Things will love it. They won't be stressed. March, also a great time for planting. March is we warm up. We're still not super hot. So March is your next time to kind of do a big planting. But you can plant year round here. Okay. In the summer, you can plant. It just takes watering every day. It's a little different. But that's the beauty of our state is you're not freezing cold like the Midwest or the East Coast, and you can still do stuff. All right, that's watering. Do kind of want to get into pots a little bit, and then I'll go into shrubs. We've just talked about this every class, so I'm more interested in this because this is the beautiful stuff I have right now, in case you guys see it. So pots. This goes for pots you've already done, pots that are set, you're like, they're there. You might consider doing some of this stuff. So pots here fake people out. They'll be dry because it's like stick your finger in first 2 inches. That tells you if it's dry or not. Doesn't work here. Okay, it's not accurate. Because we're so dry, the top will look dry, but the base of the plant will still be completely wet. It'll still be moist. The roots will be rotting out before you even think to stop watering it. Okay, You can still water plants every day, but you want to make sure there's airflow at the bottom of your pot. So if you take this plant, this pot, and you just put it on the ground, there's no airflow underneath. It's just that drainage hole is completely covered. Okay, you want pot feet or something to that effect. It raises it up about an inch. All you need is an inch, and it gets that airflow going where your pot will dry out more, and you won't have that rotting out effect. These are pot feet. Yeah, I know. It's like most people don't know what they are. So you kind of just place it in your saucer. You don't put it under your saucer, in your saucer. I know this seems self-explanatory, but it's hard. And then you just put it right on top. Okay? We have plenty of colored pot feet. They should match your pot. If not, you don't even really see them. It just raises your pot up. Like that. Okay? I learned this lesson the hard way. I thought I wouldn't need it, and then I killed almost half my plants and pots learning this lesson. So something to think about. You can use, again, people use, they talk about moisture meters. Moisture meters are like half effective for outside pots. The cold really makes it look like the pot is moist, but it's not. It's just cold. So this time of year, I don't tend to use a moisture meter because it's just not accurate. Summer months, it's pretty good because it's warm. You're not fighting the cold, stuff like that. The moisture meter is good. Not this time of year. Just is not helpful. Okay. I usually do like a piece of bamboo or a long tool that I can stick down about 5-6 inches. If I pull it out, it's dry. Probably good to water. If I pull it out, it's wet. Give it a few extra days. Okay. I'm watering my pots right now. My stuff's new-ish. I water it about every other day for like 10 minutes. I'm about to go down to maybe every 2 days or so, just with how cold it's staying. And mine's on a south side, so it gets hot. So mine just kind of needs a little extra. North and east side, I might cut back a little bit more because it sees no sun. Morning sun is not hot. Okay, it doesn't do anything really.
So you're going to leave these outside for the winter?
Yes, I'm gonna leave all my pots outside, which brings a good point. So just with your pots, because not all pots can go outdoors here. You might lose the terracotta, you might lose the Spanish pottery. You have to bring that inside. How you can tell, so this is terracotta. It's just a nice colored one. If you come up after class or anything, this is super thin. This is a really thin piece of pottery. It's not high fired. It's low fired, and I think this one's in Portugal or Mexico. But that's where it was fired, so it's really thin. If you check these guys out, the ceramics, because not all ceramics will last either. It's just super thick. You can feel that it's got some weight to it. I mean, these will outlive almost everyone, okay? You'll be bored of the color before you're actually done with the plant, all right? These can stay outdoors year round, doesn't matter. They can handle any kind of weather, snow on them, stuff like that. So know what pots you got. If you have the ceramics heavy duty, leave them outside. You'll be fine. Terracotta, you got to bring indoors, or just risk losing the pot. Eventually it'll break down and crack and just fall apart. Okay. Okay. Any questions on the pots, watering, stuff like that?
Yes, those pots can survive, but watering or how cold it gets, how the plant's going to survive.
Yeah. Well, the plants. So if you have the perennials, plants in it that go year round, they will do just fine. You just have to keep your pots watered. You only have to water them about once a week, maybe even twice a month. And that will keep those root structure of that plant insulated, so you won't lose it. It's not like going to freeze through or anything like that if you have a good pot. So a lot of if people plant in plastic or things, it will freeze through and that will kill the plant, but not a nice ceramic. It'll keep it warm, insulated, doing just fine. Right. I'm getting there, okay? All right. Most people might still have their summer plants in. They might still be looking gorgeous or just about turning. It's time to take them out and do something else. Okay? It's because what I like to do is plant now for my winter stuff, so it's rooted and looks beautiful all the way through winter. I'm not fighting a small little plant and waiting for it to grow out. It's already grown out by the time the cold hits and takes out my summer plants. Okay, so we've already taken out our vinca, we've already taken out our petunias and stuff like that and replaced it. Pots wise, because this is kind of a design thing, a lot of people like to put a more showcasey item in their pot. Because if you just do all flowers, it's a little boring, a little flat. Okay, we like to design. So if y'all heard the thriller, spiller, and filler thing, Lisa likes to say that a lot. It just brings it character. So usually I like to have a grounding centerpiece. You don't have to do a little tree. You can do something tall. Snapdragons, snapdragons almost go through anything. They're just a great year-round plant. They're just fantastic. They'll seed other places without being super invasive. So they'll pop up if you have them, but they're a great filler in the back. Chard, most people don't think about this as like a nice, pretty plant, but like, look at that color and the stems. And the more you pick off, like if I were to take this big piece and cut it off, it will send up more and look fuller. So you get that planted and then you do flowers around it. It's beautiful. Stuff like that. The other thing I'll do, snapdragon, yeah, is this is a spiller. This is your alyssum. Most people know it. Great through the winter, it still lives. I'll usually do this. I'll do some alyssum in there. And then I will throw some violas. I don't have dirt in here. Violas or pansies around it as well as my kind of center little midpoint. So like that. Yeah, they don't like full shade. If you can get it morning sun, afternoon, it doesn't matter. Just any sun is great for this stuff. I usually like to pack my pots. I'm not waiting for this stuff to grow out. The root structure on these is not aggressive. They're not going to kill each other out. I will pack this so when it grows out, it looks purposeful and full. Okay, I'm not going to wait on these to grow. I don't have that kind of time. All right, I only have a short season to enjoy being outdoors and enjoying my stuff. This will all go through the winter. If this gets snowed on, as soon as it warms back up again, they'll pop right back up. They'll do just fine, which is why we sell this stuff this time of year. Okay. The other stuff people don't think about, this is a great filler too. This is stock. You want something that smells good? Stock is that item. This just smells fantastic. Yeah, right. I'll just sit here and smell it in front of you guys. Be jealous. They'll go right into probably April or May. So these, once they kind of finish blooming, just cut this out or snap with your finger, it will send up more. So the snapdragons and then the stalk, again, once it blooms out, just cut it back. It will continue to grow. They just grow all winter. Yes.
And you have all this right now?
Yep, right back here. Yes. I'm only talking about what I got. Okay. Cabbage, this is ornamental, kale, stuff like that. Just tuck it in there. It's fantastic. Okay. And then what's nice about this guy, when it does get warm, again, next spring, it will send up a stalk, a nice little yellow bloom that you can then enjoy for a little bit before it dies out. Okay. Most of this stuff, people will tell me, oh, pansies live year round. I like them. They get leggy in the summer. Why do I want something that looks leggy when I could buy a vinca that looks good? So this is just your winter stuff. I only sell it in the winter or the spring. That's it. Fantastic. Mums. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. Yeah, these mums are great. This comes in a variety of colors. I don't have too much right now. I have reds, oranges, and I think yellows. I would probably have a snap, put this next to it. And then when this dies out, this will just take over the pot because this is a perennial. This will come back year after year. It will die back to the ground. By March or so, start sending up the green, and then it blooms in the fall. Okay, fantastic. Nothing eats, Mom. Again, nothing eats this stuff except for these. Pansies, violas, cabbage, the javelina will eat. Deer might munch down, rabbits, stuff like that. So decide where your pot's at. If it's on a porch, maybe you don't have to worry about it. The stalk, alyssum, snapdragons, they won't touch. Okay, there are things you can do that look pretty. They won't touch this. Dusty Miller, they won't touch, stuff like that. Yeah. Just for fun.
Just to irritate you.
Yeah. But the rabbits. All that work for nothing. Yeah. I think the animals this year and the rabbits, I heard that a lot. I think they were just trying to eat anything they could. They might have just tried, I mean, you think they would know because this has a toxin in it, but I think they were just trying whatever they could because they were desperate. There was no food, there's no moisture. So they were touching stuff they should never have touched, toxic stuff. Yeah, they're like, don't do this. We want a salad. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say like pack rats or squirrels or something making a bedding. Like I saw that a lot this year. Just mean stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, stuff like this. The reason I brought this, so if you have a bigger pot, a lot of people like this in their front patios or by pillars by their front door because it's a great little Christmas tree that you can decorate, throw ornaments on, stuff like that. I usually throw it in a pot and then I put annuals around it just to kind of make it colorful and then Christmas stuff. These guys grow super slow. These are dwarf Alberta spruce. You'll see them everywhere. They only grow like that much a year, like 2-3 inches. Okay, that's being generous. So you want to buy the size that you want at the time that you want to plant and plant it. So if you want bigger ones by your pillars, go maybe with the 5-gallon. That's why I brought this guy. You can see the difference. That's probably looking at, so what, 7 years of growth, if not longer, between the 1 gallons and the 5s. So buy the size you want on these guys. They do great this time of year, full sun. You can do full shade, doesn't matter, they like it all. I do notice in the summertime, July, August, they can burn, they can get pretty hot. I like to move them into afternoon shade. So that's what I like to do about those guys, is just move them in the summer. Rest of the year, they do fantastic. Yeah. 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 So everything I mentioned can handle, I mean, is it full shade? Oh, yeah. So she just asked. Oh, yeah, huh? She just asked if we have shaded pots, like it doesn't see the sun. What pretty stuff can we plant that will handle the shade? Pansies and violas can still do that. They can still very much handle it. They may not bloom as well, but they'll still look fantastic. Dusty Miller, if you need a pop of color with your flowering stuff, Dusty Miller is fantastic. You can also do, let me bring this one out. I was going to talk about this stuff. So these are hollies. Again, I was going to say if you don't want something like that, but you want holly, this is fantastic because they're easy to shape, create into a pyramid shape. Then you can decorate. They throw off the red berries in them, so you still get that color. And then you can do flowers around it. So that's why I brought the hollies, because they love the shade. They cannot handle full sun. They can do morning sun, late afternoon, but that's it. So I brought the hollies. This is a little smaller version if you need something, a little smaller pot, more color variegation to it. This is the Goshiki holly. Doesn't do the berries, but you get the color on it. Is this the 5-color one or just the 2-tone? Yeah, so when the new growth comes out and it's kind of that colder warmth, it will turn more of an orangey red and then go to the gold and then go to the green. So it's a nice multicolored plant. I brought this guy just to show you, because you could, this is too small pot, don't follow the pot. You could trim this into more of a pyramid shape. Okay, so you can either let it look like a big bush out. This one is the Holly Magic, Berry Magic holly. So it does the berries as well. You don't need a male and female pollinator. You just need the one plant and it'll throw off the berries. Little white flowers, so it's pretty cool in the spring with the flowers. That's this guy. Great in pots, great in the ground. Okay, full shade, if not partial. And then minimal watering. Because it's wax leafed and it holds moisture, you're not watering it all the time. So it's actually a great water saver for you guys. Again, if you buy hollies anywhere else, make sure you have Berry Magic or something that doesn't need a pollinator. A lot of them will need a male pollinator to get you the berries. You might see like this one, I think, Magical and more. You might need to check. Do you think we need a pollinator with this one? I can't remember.
The other ones, they pollinate each other.
Yeah. So if you get a Berry Magic and this one, they'll pollinate. Just don't trust what you see in stores all the time, because if it has berries now, it's probably just pollinated by a different plant and you won't get it next year. So just careful which holly you buy. Yeah.
Which one do you buy that doesn't, if we put it by our front door, there's no shade? It does.
No, so the berry magics, anything that says berry magic, it will pollinate itself. You'll get berries year after year. Okay, if it doesn't say berry magic, you'll need a pollinator, or you'll just need one of these with it, kind of thing. Yeah. Any shade plants?
Question.
Yeah.
All my stuff was in heavy plastic tubs. How can I deal with the winter being? I'm gonna like plant
This stuff.
pansies or something.
I mean,
Is there anything I can do to
insulate it, help it from freezing. Yeah. I was like, put it out. If you can move it, put it out into some afternoon sun, put it up against your south wall or something. Now, if you can't move it and it's in full shade, you might have to do like some bagged dirt around it, kind of the mulch or the, like just bagged dirt around it. You could try frost cloth, something to surround it, might help insulate it. Otherwise, there's not much else. Now, and then watering it before a storm or watering it before a heavy freeze will help. Because this stuff can handle it. It just might stress it out eventually.
it's getting probably getting 8 hours of sun in most
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Do I still
Then-
have to do anything?
I mean, you still have to water probably a little more often, but not, I don't think you have to do anything else.
Yeah.
So you just got to risk it maybe freezing, but just do what you can. Yeah. This is the other shade one. This is a sky pencil holly. So if you have a pillar and you don't have a wide space, this grows up. It only gets 2 feet wide and then like 5 feet tall, and you can trim it. So this is a great kind of narrow plant that you can put, flowers around. So that's your other shade option. So like he looks fantastic. Trim them really easily, plants around it. Okay, and you can still put lights in it. Sky pencil holly. Yeah, still hollies.
Shade too.
Yes. Yes, do a holly. Yep. There's other things, but that's the evergreen stuff. So that's your shaded items. The sun stuff that I didn't finish. I brought this guy because a lot of people want to do more a blue color in their pots. They're tired of the green. They see the green. Can I do a tree that won't outgrow a pot, or do I move it eventually? I get that question a lot. So there's differences in your spruces. These are both spruces. This is a fat Albert. They're everywhere. It's the one you see in people's yards that are huge. Takes a while to grow from this to the big tree. So I brought him because he can grow in a pot right now. If you want a tree in the pot for the season or even 2 seasons, that kind of keeps it small, you can do any spruce you want. Eventually, the fat Albert, you will have to move into the ground. Okay, they get like 40 feet by like 30 feet. They get big. It will not survive in a pot for its whole lifespan. But if you 3-4 years, depending on your size pot, you can grow this Christmas tree, throw lights in it, ornaments, move it around. It does great. Okay, this guy is a newer variety. It's the Jean Genie spruce. It stays super small. It can grow in a pot, do just fine forever in its lifespan, or then you can move it to the ground. He gets 15 by 8. So obviously you want a bigger pot than this. Probably want a pot maybe that size, and then deep if you can. And it can live 7, 8, 9 years in that. Okay. So if you want spruces in pots or trees in pots, you can move around, decorate for the season. Just decide which one you want to get, because you will have to plant this one eventually. Okay. So that's
Showing how much the tree grows. So the difference between that tree, how much it grows, and that tree, you can actually see it right there.
would you like to come up?
So great example. This is this year's growth. That's how much it grew. This one only grew that much. Dwarf, bigger. It's like the perfect example.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's why I brought both up. Okay. I knew there was a reason. Yeah, you can also tell like this one's got more space between the limbs. This one's a lot more compact. It's going to stay compact. It's not going to be airy like that. So it just stays smaller. Okay, so you can also see that. Okay, that's why I brought up all these trees. That's kind of how you use trees in pots, because I know people, they want to decorate them. They want living trees. They don't want to buy a cut tree all the time and then throw it out because it's sad. That's how you can use living trees. Okay, that's kind of your pots. You can do a lot of things in pots. You can almost do anything you want in a pot. Just depends on the size that you get and what you want it to do eventually in terms of growth size and all that. Like we have a peach tree, a full-size grown peach tree in a pot for I think 10 years now, doing just fine. So it doesn't get as big as it normally would, but it's still loving throwing off peaches. We had a really great peach year this year. I don't know if anyone else had that, but it was fantastic compared to last year. Yeah, well, it needs water. Yeah, a lot of death happened this spring. A lot of things didn't come out. They came out small. People lost a lot of their pines, and that's just due to watering. So you do have to water year round. You can't just cut it off. These guys are great fall color. They provide, I mean, this guy is almost a year-round color producer. This is an Akebia. This is the kaleidoscope Akebia. It is semi-evergreen. So if we get a little cold, it might drop some leaves. Otherwise, it looks like this. This is its fall color. It just turned to this color. In the spring, kind of goes back to green, and it kind of gets that yellow-white tinge to it, kind of spotting. That's why you call it a kaleidoscope. It's multicolored. This is just its fall color. It also blooms. It blooms a white pink flower, kind of bigger clumping flower. It's beautiful because it's not tiny. You can actually see it. So it's one of the few blooming semi-evergreens that you can find. A lot of people ask me for that. It's not a plant that exists. This is as close as you can get to an evergreen that blooms. The kaleidoscope gets 3 by 4, so not super big. I do suggest some partial shade for it, or give it extra water in the summer. I have seen it grown on the south side, but it probably took a lot of water and time. If you can give it partial shade, it's great. Okay, that's this guy. Yes, yeah, ground or pots, yes, either one. Again, this is great for a pot or the ground. This is heavenly bamboo, but this is the firepower, Nandina, okay? The traditional ones you see around town have a really small leaf. I thought I brought one up. Ah, didn't. Okay, really small leaf. It gets bigger. So this one only gets 2 by 2. It's a nice little mounding little thing. The others get 3 by 3, 4 by 3. They get bigger. They can also get a little woodier, a little less nice. This just keeps its shape. Okay, the firepower, Nandina. It's a thicker leaf. Still turns that red like any other bamboo does. Still turns the red. Not invasive. If you hear bamboo, don't worry. It's not invasive that we sell. So this is just a cute little plant. It's a great accent piece amongst your yard, especially in the front of items because it turns red. Okay, doesn't throw a flower off, doesn't do anything like that. Animals don't eat it. Super drought tolerant. Most people overwater these before they kill them. So just solid plant. I like them. I like these because they don't get as woody. Sometimes the Gulf streams get woody and they just don't look nice. These are the last 2 I think I have up here. I brought this one because it's great in a pot or the ground. It's the ballerina hawthorn, 2 by 2, not much bigger than that. Blueberries, I think, yeah, you can kind of see them there. Blueberries in the fall, little white berries, late summer and early spring actually, blooms twice. And it's evergreen. This is just what it looks like year round, okay? But the flowers, you can notice that they're little pink flowers. They're beautiful all over the shrub. And then the blueberries in the fall. Bird kind of feeds it. If you're a bird, someone want to help your environment, the birds will kind of go for the berries as well. But it's not going to create a lot of mess. It's not going to just drop these and create blue stains everywhere. So this is the small version. I also get ones that get 6 by 6. I get ones that get 4 by 4. So if anything you want size-wise, this is just the small one. So it's great for pots. Full sun or partial. It can do everything. It's great. Ballerina hawthorn. I brought this one just because, again, some fall color. People don't want just green or blue. They want some color to their yard. This is the winter creeper. euonymus. So this is about as tall as it gets, and it spreads out 4 or 5 feet. Okay, it's more of a ground cover, fills the space. This is just what it does year round. It just looks great year round. Now you could trim it, this little piece off, you can keep it one level, or you can let it grow more natural and kind of give you some different heights. But winter creeper euonymus. This one, the rabbits could possibly eat. I know they took a lot of euonymus out this year. Deer can sometimes eat it too. So you just have to know your yard a little bit with that, with the euonymus. Okay, otherwise, no bugs attack this guy that I've seen. Aphids, scalethorp like that. They don't attack it. Just the regular wildlife. But that's euonymus. So if you plant this, do green around it, it just kind of creates definition and just uniqueness in your yard. Most people just plant this out by itself and you can't really see it. Welcome in. So you need something to showcase it once you have it in your yard. Okay, a lot of people put things in their yard by themselves, and here against the rock, it looks fine, but if you put more in a grouping, things just pop more, they come out more. That's how I like to plant my yard. Put things in groups. He brought me, we're doing on time. Fantastic, I can talk, look at that. My father's daughter. People ask what to put in pots. This is your big potting soil. This is great stuff. It has peat moss in it, so once it's hydrated, it stays hydrated. You don't need to constantly be watering all the time. We did that because we don't want you guys have to water all the time. Water is expensive here, if we haven't noticed. So we created peat moss so you don't have to worry about that. You can maybe water every other day instead of every day. Because once peat moss gets dry, incredibly hard to get wet again. So you do not want this to just dry out. That's when the dirt pulls away from the pot, and then the water just goes whoop out down the side, and then your plant dries out. So be careful with this guy. You have a smaller one. Groundswell is what we have. It's a New Mother Earth, great product. If you know a Fox Farm, this is what we sell instead of Fox Farm. Just as good, just smaller bag. Okay. I had cactus mix up here. Yep. The one thing I like to do, if your hobby is watering, if you're like, I just want to be out there and water, I don't care about the plants, add some cactus mix to your pot, okay? I do about 50-50. I do 50 of this, 50% of this. That way I don't overwater, because this is very airy. This says perlite, vermiculite, water just goes through it. So this is mostly made for cactus or succulents. I do it with our potting soil so that way I don't keep pots too wet, because sometimes I am a waterer rather than a planter. But that's a little trick that I like to do, and then I like to put this mostly around the root ball, the root base. That way water doesn't sit there, it kind of goes further down. So that's how I would use cactus mix in most of my pots. I do it for almost all of them, for myself. I kill too many things by keeping them too wet. That's kind of your soils for pots. In the ground, you want to use mulch, premium mulch. That's better for ground stuff. You do 50% mulch to 50% native soil. You want to keep your stuff used to your native soil with a little bit of help. And that's our premium mulch. But I wasn't really talking about that today, so I brought up potting soil. The one thing he brought up. Yeah, no, it's good. That's why I brought these two products and this one. Do this first. If you're a person who has pots outside and you're bringing them inside, or you're putting them in your garage, this is systemic insect granulars. Things will lay eggs in your soil, you won't even know it. That little fungus gnat that you see in your houseplants, if you bring them out inside, they probably have fungus gnat eggs in them. Okay, I just throw a little bit of this down. It's just a granular, kind of a granular gray stone. Throw it on top, water it in, and it kills all those eggs and stuff laying in your pots. Okay? Can't use it on fruits and veggies or anything like that. You can use it on everything else. Yeah, there's a different product I can show you for that. But I throw this on anything I'm bringing indoors, anything by my front door, because I don't want bugs coming in that have it. This is the time of year to use it. Okay? And a little goes a long way. You will have this probably for a good long while before you run out. Okay? Yeah, around the kind of the pot. It tells you how much. I just do an even layer around the top plant, water it in, let it dry out as much as possible before I water again, and it kills out all the eggs. Yeah. Nix bugs. So because we still have aphids out, aphids in our pines, if you notice shiny stuff in your trees or shiny plants that are sticky, that's aphids. And they're very much out in full force. Last year, they didn't even die off. They just stuck around all year. It was really annoying. It didn't even get a break. So you might have to fight them a little bit. They suck the life out of your tree. If you notice it getting pale or you see spotting on your tree, there's just life is being sucked out by insects. This tree and shrub drench is a year-round. You use it once, it's good for the year. Okay, it's a systemic. It's an ounce per inch of trunk diameter is how you kind of measure it. It has instructions, but ounce per inch of trunk diameter. Mostly using it on your evergreen trees, evergreen shrubs, things like that. But it gets rid of scale, borers, the aphids, anything that eats in your tree, kills it from the inside out. Okay.
I was told that you could use that on, like, you know, the prickly, I have a lot of prickly pear that
Yep.
looks like it's being eaten from the inside.
Yeah.
And that could work.
Yeah, so let me answer this one. She's got prickly pear cactus. A lot of times the worms get into the cactus and you won't even notice. It'll just look like it's rotting. The only way to take care of that is to do a systemic, so it kills it from the inside out. Yes, I suggest this guy for cactus. You have to be careful when you use it for the fruit trees. This time of year, you'd be fine. But if it's blooming season or fruiting season, you have to use it so many days before harvest. You just have to check that. But it won't get into the fruit because it's too thick a molecule, too big a molecule. So you're safe on that. So many days before harvest. Okay, it's tree and shrub drench. I like this product because it gets the new growth. You know, the trees that all your evergreens that throw off that new growth in March, April, it will protect that as well. Some of your drenches will not get the new growth. It just protects the old growth. Bugs want new growth. They want the soft stuff, the stuff they can eat. So that's why we chose this product, because it gets all that extra stuff. Okay, once a year application. If you need to do it more than once a year, you're good to go. It's not going to kill it. It's not going to hurt it. You can do it a little extra. Okay, especially with how bad the bugs have been. This is a spray product. So this is good for your big trees, things that you cannot spray. It's impossible. Okay. Sometimes you want immediate response. If you have aphids and you're like, this goes up about a foot a day. It takes time. This is immediate. This is a spray, hose and sprayer. It's horticultural oil, all season spray, if you guys know that. You can only use it in the cool season. If you use it in the summer, it will burn because it is an oil. So you want to use it when it's below like 70, 75 degrees. Now's the perfect time to use it. What it does is it encases your plant. It encases your tree, suffocates out anything that's living. Suffocates the aphids, kills out the scale, if you have that this time of year. So if you're like, I don't want to wait, or I want to get rid of it now, horticultural oil. Cyanide, yeah, you can use it on almost everything. I don't really like it on cactus because cactus breathe through their paddles and stuff. So if you encase it in oil, you might kill it out that way. So I prefer this on cactus. But everything else, you can use it on. Okay, and you can use it up until probably next April. So it's a good time. We'll talk about, like, I like to have it because in the springtime, you don't know what's laid eggs in your trees, in your plants. There could be a million things that have laid eggs in there that you don't even see. We usually suggest spraying this in like February, March, and it kills out, gets reset for the springtime. Kills out anything you may not see, kills out thrip, eggs, things like that, and gets you good started out for the spring. So that's why we'll mention this again through the winter months as we see, okay? Horticultural oil.
All organic.
Yeah, this one's organic, so you can use it on anything you want. Probably not things that you want to eat right away, but fruit trees, things like that, okay? Any questions? Yeah.
So we have a peach tree that
Mhm.
has had like a fungus, gets all these spots and so forth.
Yeah.
And I think I was spraying that right before, like, as soon as it started to bud leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Is that too late?
I mean, so that black spotting for fungus, this is not going to work. This is only for insects. Fungicide 5, if you had that, will take care of the fungus. Fungicide 5 is meant for the black spots, anything like that. No, it's not too late for an insect killer. If it's just budding out, it's not too late. It's more like you don't want to spray when it's blooming, kind of thing. Fungicide 5, I don't have it because it's just didn't bring it up. You can use it as systemic or spray. it's that black spot, powdery mildew, the purple tone in your evergreens. It's all usually fungus. You want to spray the plant or drench it. I like a drench myself because that fungus is happening in your root system, showing up on your tree. Okay, so you want to treat the roots and it will treat your tree. And what it does is it stops it from spreading. It doesn't stop what already has it, but it'll stop it from spreading to the rest of your trees or to different areas of your yard. So fungicide 5, it's organic. You can use it on your fruit trees. It'll be safe. Veggie stuff like that. You just got to think how many days before harvest, kind of thing. So that's what I would use instead if you're getting black spot. Just make sure you're not keeping that tree too wet either. Usually black spot and all that fungus stuff come about because the ground's staying too wet or the roots. So just keep an eye on that. You might cut back your watering. I would drench it. Yeah. Anything else? Any other questions? I think we're good. I don't know. Ken, any questions? I think I'm gonna end that here. I'll be up here if you guys. I know I can get it done.
Peach tree that, my water got shut off and I didn't really know it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to do now to help it.
So I mean, for next year, fertilize it. Make sure it's fertilized, and then if it's still green under there, just keep it really well watered through the winter, and it should come out nicely next spring. You might have to cut off some of the tips. Maybe you lost some of the tips in that dryness. Cut those off and it will regrow some new stuff. She had a peach tree drip line that kind of she didn't know wasn't getting water, and so she had probably stress and die off on the tree. Again, you just trim it, fertilize it, water it, it will come back. Luckily, this time of year, as things go to sleep, they just take care of themselves a little bit. They don't need as much help. They just need fertilizer to get them through, kind of thing. Again,
Just kind of help regrow some more
roots.
You've lost roots.
Yeah.
So the food plus the humic. So
yeah. Yeah.
Pray over it. Stuff the gardeners do.
Yeah. Next spring, as you guys turn on your systems or you're watering more, make sure you check your lines. I know this year a lot of the rabbits, the rodents ate through lines and people didn't know, and then they're just wasting water or they overwatered stuff, or a calcium in our water blocked the head of the line. So once a year, it's good to check your drip system, make sure everything's working well, and things are actually getting watered that you make sure they're getting watered. Okay, so things to check. Okay, all right, peach tree questions today. I like it. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate you coming. Stock. No, it's that table right. Follow this table down. It's on the end cap by those yellow marigolds. Yep. For winter, yes. Yep. Everything will go